Other men act like it's so hard to date these days. Just do certain acts of service and sprinkle in buying us flowers and dinner every now and then. Like if you're over at a girl's apartment and you two are newly dating, but y'all are hanging out and you notice her trash is overfilling, just go take the trash out. If your girl has an animal and you notice that her animal needs to be let out, just go take the dog out for her. It's just really not that hard. Doing minor acts of service will go so much further than mostly buying flowers or buying her things. Yes, that can come later, but every girl's different, but I think a lot of women now really want to be shown that you're gonna make their lives easier, not just buy them things.
When most men stop dating, it's not a coincidence, it's a response. Now, let me say something very uncomfortable. If 65% of men have stopped dating, the problem is not individual men. That's not a character flaw. That's not trauma. That's not laziness. That's a systematic response. When a majority of men disengages from something humans are biologically wired to pursue, it means the cost crossed the line. And the fact that this gets mocked, minimized, or ignored is exactly why it keeps happening. Bro, if you're a man who's quietly stepped back from dating and wondered if something was wrong with you, hit the subscribe button. This channel exists to explain patterns men are punished for noticing. Now, let's talk honestly. And before we start, let's clarify who we are talking to. We are not talking to incels. We are not talking to extremists. We are not talking to men who never tried. We are talking to and about men who participated, who invested, who improved, who communicated, and who adapted. Men who didn't rage quit. They simply faded out. They stopped initiating. They stopped chasing. They stopped explaining. Not because they hate women, but because they started respecting their own time. I want you to pay close attention because that distinction matters. Some of you might agree or disagree with me. Let me know down below in the comment section because I really know what you think. But before we move on, I'll give you real world examples that men instantly recognizes. And I'm sure you are aware of one of these. The first example is the invisible effort tax. Men are expected to initiate conversations, to carry momentum, to plan dates, to pay, to lead emotionally, to absorb rejection quietly. And this is framed as confidence. But here's what men notices. Effort is mandatory. Appreciation is optional. So when effort becomes invisible, motivation dies. That's not bitterness. That's human. Example number two is the you should just know trap. Men are told to communicate more. So they ask questions, clarify expectations, seek alignment, and they are told in return that is exhausting. You are overthinking. It should be natural. So which is which? Which is it? Communicate but don't ask. Lead but don't decide. Be intentional but don't expect clarity. So men don't disengage because they are confused. They disengage because the rules contradict each other. Example number three is the disposable phase. A man invests weeks or months. He shows consistency. Is emotionally steady. Then one day, I don't feel it anymore. From nowhere, no explanation, no accountability, no transition. And if he reacts, he's labeled insecure. So men eventually ask, why invest deeply into something that can vanish overnight? That's not fear, bro. That's risk assessment. And what makes me angry is the advice that's being pushed to men. Modern dating advice sounds very progressive to men, but it's quite corrosive. Men are told to be more vulnerable, to be more emotionally expressive, to be less masculine, to be endlessly accommodating. But what's missing? A discussion of outcomes. Men followed this advice, believe me, and many of them became less respected, more anxious, more disposable. So men didn't reject growth. They rejected advice that made their position weaker. And this is why this was inevitable. Dating today rewards optionality, ambiguity, low effort, low accountability, constant comparison. But when you come with stability, it kills excitement. When you come with consistency, it reduces leverage. When you come with clarity, it ends your options. So men who want peace, who want order, who want direction, find themselves swimming upstream. And eventually, men do what men have always done. They stop participating in environments that punish discipline and reward chaos. Now, here's what men gain by stepping back. The first thing is mental clarity, financial momentum, self trust, time, peace. They discover their purpose, and here's what they lose: constant self doubt, emotional roulette, performance pressure. Men don't fear being alone, they fear wasting their prime years chasing instability. So staying single is not emptiness, it's control. Now, let me tell you why society panics when men opt out of this game. Because men opting out exposes something very dangerous. Number one, that participation was never equally rewarded. So if men can leave, it then means the advice wasn't neutral, that the blame was misplaced. The system needs men more than men needs it. So men are shamed. You are scared. You are broken. You need therapy. They use every tool in the box, except maybe this doesn't work for men anymore. They don't think like this. And I know this message is not for everyone. It's not for people who need men confused. It's not for people who benefit from male self doubt. It's for men who notice patterns early and refuse to gaslight themselves. If that's you, you are not crazy. You are observant. So if 65% of men have stopped dating, that's not a crisis. That's feedback. Men didn't fail dating. Dating failed to justify its cost. You didn't quit. You adjusted. That's the difference. Because men who adjust early, they don't lose. They preserve their leverage. Share with your brother who needs to watch this. Smash the subscribe button again and see you in the next one.